Hello all, welcome to Learn Payments channel. This video is a primer on commercial cards. In this video, we will see what are commercial cards, what are the different types of commercial cards, and some important features of commercial cards. First, let's look at what are commercial cards. Generally, credit cards are provided to individuals where the individual approaches the bank or financial institution and uses the card for her or his personal use transactions and is also solely responsible for repaying the dues properly. On the contrary, commercial cards are issued to companies to be used by its employees or owners towards business related expenses. So, what are business related expenses? Business related expenses entails the following. Pay the end vendors from whom the businesses procure goods and services, or provide the cards to the employees for any business related expenses. These cards are provided to small or medium to large enterprises. Usually, commercial cards are credit instruments, that is like a credit card. However, the cards can also be a debit based instrument, that is tagged to a savings or a current account. Now let us look at the various types of commercial cards. Commercial cards are differentiated based on the usage. The first type of commercial card that we are going to look are the corporate cards, one of the oldest type of the commercial cards. Corporate cards are commercial cards issued to employees towards their travel and entertainment expenses. These cards are used when the employees travel outstation, and the employees can use these cards whenever they need to spend towards any business expenses, be it a travel or accommodation or any other expenses. Prior to the issuance of corporate cards, the employees either had to use their personal credit cards and submit bills for reimbursement, etc. So these processes are cumbersome for both employees and also companies to manage them. Second type of commercial cards are purchasing cards. This is one of the most important type of commercial card. These are typically used by the company's procurement or accounts department who use it to make payment to external vendors. That is why these cards are also called P cards, that is procurement cards. Usually, say if a company have to purchase any goods can be petty expenses, the usual process is to get an invoice, process the invoice and make the payment. These can be avoided using the purchasing cards. These purchasing cards allow to reduce the number of purchase orders and invoices to be processed. Purchasing cards are usually issued or used by medium to large companies. The next type of card is the business card, which is usually used by small enterprises that are typically individually owned. The sole proprietors who usually want to separately track personal and business expenses use these cards. The last type of commercial cards are the fleet cards, which are used towards fuel purchases, vehicle maintenance related expenses. As an example, a fleet company might issue this card to a vehicle driver to purchase fuel only. When a fleet card is used at a fuel station, sometimes additional details are collected as well, like the meter readings, etc. Now let's look at some of the good advantages of commercial cards. The first advantage is that companies get a line of credit and some credit period from the issuers. When companies have some cash flow issues, these commercial cards come very handy. It's a win-win where the issuers make some interchange income and the company gets a credit period as well. The second advantage, as I mentioned, is streamlining the employee expense process and the procurement process, where a lot of manual processes can be avoided. Schemes and issuers provide a lot of transaction details for commercial cards, using which the expenses can be monitored and properly processed by the companies as well. Now, let's look at some specific features that are typical to commercial cards. The first feature is spend control, where the transactions are restricted based on MCC or spend limits or by merchants. Let's look at it one by one. First is MCC restriction. Let's say a purchasing card is issued to employees of a transport department within a company. Then this card will be restricted only for travel ticket related purchases, that is only to those MCCs. The other MCCs will be blocked. Second, the spend is controlled based on transaction amounts. It could be to define a single transaction amount, or it could be amounts that can be spent on a given day, or the amounts that can be spent over a month, etc. Let's look at an example. Say if a corporate card is issued to an employee and the company wants to cap the daily limit based on the employee level, then the company can do so. Finally, the commercial card can be restricted based on the merchants as well. Say a purchasing card can be restricted to be used only to pay a given merchant. Now let's look into the next feature, which is the billing and statementing. Before we look into this, let's look at a sample company hierarchy and see how commercial cards are issued. In this example, for a company X, a corporate card is issued to a salesperson towards T&E expenses, that is travel and entertainment expenses. And then say there are two procurement cards issued to the procurement department towards payments to external vendors. So in this kind of setup, the billing would be done individually for the corporate card, that is the due amount and the statement would be separately generated for the salesperson, and a consolidated billing and statement is prepared for the cards issued to the procurement department. In this way, the company can segregate the expenses by department, that is for the sales department and also for the procurement department. The hierarchy shown here is a very simple hierarchy, but typically there would be a complex hierarchy and the companies could usually define how they want to consolidate or track the expenses separately. Let's look at some other important points regarding commercial cards. Usually, corporate and purchasing cards are charge cards where the company would need to pay the amount that is spent in a given cycle in full within the due date. It is not like a normal consumer credit card where a percentage of the amount spent needs to be paid. The second point is usually the purchasing cards are used in e-commerce, that is used in a payment gateway related infrastructure. In this case, there is no need for a physical card. Hence, the purchasing card can be a virtual card, and to ensure the safety and security of the payment credential, this card can also be a single-use virtual card, where the virtual card can be used only for single transaction. This concludes this video. Hope you learned something useful. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to hear your feedback in the form of comments as well. Thank you.